Hi, this is Richard Quek here. Welcome to another session of my video. In today's session, I would like to talk about personal development, and the topic is how to become a great leader. All right. Now, all the success stories that you have heard, all right, have one thing in common. They are all great leaders. Don't you agree so? All right. They are all great leaders. Now, as you know, everything rise and fall with leadership. So leadership is very, very important. But the thing is that we are all not born as leaders. All right, we are not born as leaders, but we have to force ourselves to become a leader. So leadership is actually, all right, creating yourself, forging yourself to become a great leader. All right, so because nobody is born as a leader. All right, now, if you want to be successful in whatever you do, then you got to improve on your leadership quality. All right, you will only move up in your business, in your rank, or whatever things that you are doing if your leadership improve. Okay, so in today's session, I would like to talk about what are the qualities that make a great leader. Okay, so let's begin here. Number one, leadership is by example. Now that means if you want to be a good leader, you got to show the example to your follower. All right. Now, gone were the days whereby you tell people what to do and they follow you. All right. Today, people don't listen to you. They see what you do. That is very, very important. So, as the term applies, leadership by example. That means if you want your follower to do what you are telling them, you got to do it yourself. All right, because people look at whether you do it or not. Okay, the days of telling people what to do is over. They will see what you do, and then only then they will follow you. All right, so it is leadership by example that is important. As an example, all right, you tell people to come for meeting early. All right, then you yourself got to come for meeting early. All right, if you tell people to come for meeting early, but you are always late, then that is not leadership by example. All right, so remember this. To become a great leader, you got to show good example to your follower. Okay, that's the first one. The second one is that you need to have a caring and empathic attitude. Because a leader must understand and appreciate the follower. All right, so you must have a caring attitude. You must have a empathy attitude. Because why? All the followers will have their problems and challenges that individually that they face every time. So you got to be able to care for them and empathize with them. That is a very, very important criteria of a good leader. All right, I heard from some leaders, especially those that I know in network marketing, they say that, they've gone to many divorces. What does it mean? It means that their follower have got divorced and have a lot of problems, and they have to sit with these people and encourage them and advise them and so on. So basically, that's what it means. All right, you got to be empathetic with them and also, understand the situation they're having. So that is the characteristic of a good leader. The third thing is you got to be strict. A leader got to be strict because to be respected, you got to be strict with what you tell people. But on the other hand, you got to be strict, but then you got to be flexible as well. If you are too rigid and too strict, people will get fearful of you. All right, people fear you. They do things because they fear you, not because they respect you. So, being strict is very important, but on the other hand, you also need to be very flexible because sometimes, you don't understand the situation your follower are in. So you got to be able to also understand them and be flexible to change. All right, flexibility to change is very, very important as a leader. Okay. Now, the fourth thing is that you got to listen to others. Now, you may have your own decision, you may have your own opinion, but in some cases, all right, you may be wrong. You may be wrong. So you got to listen to the opinion and advice of other people in your team as well. Although you are a leader, yes, no doubt, you make the final decision, but you got to listen to people. All right, when people advise you or tell you, especially those positive feedback, you got to listen to them. And if you need to do, you got to change as well. All right, because that's important for a leader. You got to be able to listen to the opinion and advice of your follower. All right, of course, you know, a lot of them are not as good as you. They're probably giving you bad advice and experience, but just listen to them. You don't have to follow them, right? You don't have to follow what they tell you. Just listen. Have a caring ear, all right? Because when you care, then people respect you more, okay? That is the fourth one. The fifth one is that you must be fair in whatever you do. You cannot take side. You cannot have, what you call, a double standard, all right? You have to be fair in whatever that you do. All right, whatever you judge your people, your follower, you got to be very, very fair in what you do with them. You see, a lot of leaders are not fair. Oh, they have favoritism. Oh, I like this person better, so I favor this person. Then you are not a good leader. A good leader will sit and listen and be fair. All right, a leader must be a judge that is very fair. Okay, it cannot be taking side here, taking side there. All right, so you have to be fair. So that is one of the quality of a good leader, is that you got to be fair in whatever you do. All right, then your follower will respect you. Because if you're not fair, then, you know, people will not respect you. All right. The sixth thing is this. Okay, you must be a risk taker. Now, you cannot stay by the, you know, byline or the sideline and wait for things to happen. You got to take risks, all right? Calculated risk, that's for sure. A leader must take risks because you lead the team, you lead the team, and the follower follows you. So you got to be able to take risks, my friend. All right, take risks, but calculated risk, of course. That is why, you know, a lot of people don't like to make decisions because they fear they make a wrong decision. But to be a good leader, you got to be able to take risks as well. Everything in life involves risks. All right, you go out on the road. Okay, you might be, you know, you might be run down by a car. All right, but the risk is there. But you have to take calculated risk. That's for sure. All right, all leaders have to take risks. They take calculated risk and they learn from whatever that they do that do not have the right outcome. All right. So number 6 is you must be a risk taker. Number 7, this is very important. You must be an action taker. All right, that means you got to take action. Your follower, your team are looking at you. So basically, you got to take massive action to prove to them that you are doing what you're supposed to do. All right, what you are telling them to do, you are doing. Just like leadership by example, which I mentioned just now, number 1. All right, you got to take action. All right, taking action is the most important thing of all. All leaders will take action. They go ahead and lead the team. All right. There are no leaders that are fearful, you know, you go first, I'll wait and see what happens. No. You have to be an action taker, my friend. And of course, you take a lot of risks as well. All right? And the 8th thing is that you must be a decision maker. All right? Like I said again, people don't like to make decisions because they fear they make a wrong decision. But being a great leader, you must always be brave and bold and courageous to take action. All right? And you got to have sound judgment as well. All right? Sound judgment is very important because why? If you just make decision, most of the decision you take may not have the right outcome. So you need to have the right judgment. You got to have the discernment to know what is right, what is wrong. All right? That means you need to have wisdom, my friend. You need to have wisdom. So decision making is very important. Can you see any leader out there, outstanding leader who don't make decision? They leave it to their follower, the team to make the decision? No, you are a decision maker because you lead the team. All right? Whether, as I said just now, all right, leadership rise and fall. Everything rise and fall with leadership. So you got to be a leader to lead your team, to lead your people, to lead your followers. Is that true? So leadership is very important, whether you're in business or in any avenue, in anything that you do. Leadership is very important, even in political parties. So you got to be a good leader. All right. So leadership is so important. I hope that you appreciate that. You know, from today onwards, if you want to improve your life, you got to be a leader, not a follower. All right. Now, let me ask you, between a follower and a leader, who earns more? Well, of course, a leader will earn more than the follower. Is that true? So if you want to earn more, then you got to be a leader. So take up leadership from today. Don't be a backbencher and wait and look at things that happen around you. Take action. Volunteer yourself and take action. Be a good leader. Of course, initially you got to be a follower first, all right? Nobody is born as a leader. You got to be a follower first, but you don't stay in that stage for a long, long time. All right, you got to take action and take the responsibility to be a leader. And leadership, like I said just now, it is forced, so it takes time for you to build it as well. So you got to be courageous enough to take, the initiative to be a leader. All right, in whatever you do, whether it in any business, in family, or even in network marketing or business, you got to be a leader, and a leader lead the team, because where the team is heading, it all depends on you. All right, you got to be a good leader, and when you're a leader, then your follower, your team will respect you. If you're a great leader, okay, there might be leaders who are not great leaders, that's for sure, right? So the thing is that you got to be a good leader and have all these characteristic that I mentioned just now. All right, so let me summarize for you. All right, to be a good leader, number one, you got to have leadership by example. All right, do things that you want others to do. Number two, you must be caring and have empathetic attitude towards your people. Number three, you must be strict. All right, and also be flexible. Number four, you must listen to others in your team as well. All right, take other people's opinion and advice as well. Number five, you got to be fair in what you do. You cannot take side, you cannot have a double standard and so on. Okay. Number six, you must be a risk taker, that's for sure. Number seven, you must take action. All right, if you don't take action, then you are not a leader, that's for sure. All right. Number eight, you must be a decision maker. You must make decision fast and stick to your decision. All right. Therefore, you need to have sound judgment. You got to have good discernment about what is right and what is wrong, and take massive action. Okay, so I hope that you learned something from today's sharing. If you like what you hear and see, please feel free to like, to share, and to comment. I appreciate you for your time that you spend with me. All right, and I'll see you tomorrow again with another session. So this is Richard Quek here from Malaysia, wishing you good night and goodbye.